Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button so you can see all of my videos. Come here and I show you the stuff that I got, how much I paid for it, and then in the video, we're gonna fix it up together. If you're interested in any of these products, please visit thepaintedphotographerhomedecor.com and they will be under special sale items. And I'll ship them right to your front door. If you're local, just choose local pickup and we will meet up. First off, I bought this little orange metal container. It was 79 cents. It has a little glittery butterfly on it. One of the things that I'm leaving this as is because I'm having a sedum painting class for my sisters, my daughters, my nieces, and my granddaughters, and my grandnieces. So I needed a bunch of sedum containers so that they could plant something in. They're either going to leave it like this or they will paint it. So I'm not doing anything with this, but I did pay 79 cents. This is a Guy Rock China. And I Googled it. It is definitely a collectible vase. It's in very good shape, no chips. I loved it. I love the colors of it. I think it's just a really, really fun vase to put some spring flowers in it. We'll put some spring flowers in it. To just put some flowers in it, I think it would be a really cute item in your kitchen as is. So this was 69 cents for this vase. Here's a basket. It had floral foam in it. I left it in there, 57 cents. This is going to be a sedum project also. So if somebody wants to paint it, they can, or they can just white wax it, whatever they want. But they're gonna put dirt right in there. I kept the floral foam because that'll come in handy in a different project. All right, the next item up is this little basket. It's $1.97. I paid for it, and it's already white. And I don't know, I'll probably just give it a new facelift, and then it'll be a perfect spot to put some flowers. And that's that. Here's another basket. I'm on a basket kick lately, right? 57 cents. Look at this basket. It was an awesome deal for 57 cents. I think someone did not mark this correctly, but I took it. I really like it. I like this. I like this style of basket. And remember, I like my baskets to be a little on the tough side and not so squishy. So this one will make a good vignette for putting a mason jar in, flowers, whatever you want to put in here. Also, giving this just white wax really just adds a lot of detail to the basket. So not sure what I'm doing with this one, but thinking maybe just white wax. Another basket. Look at this one. This one was marked $3.97. Sitting right next to this one that was marked 57 cents. Is that crazy or what? This one just happens to have a movable handle. This one's handle is stationary. Such a huge difference. So I do like that when I find one for a really good deal. Then I'm not so upset about paying $3.57 for this one because I did not pay very much for the other one. This one's got a board in the middle. So I think it's actually supposed to be like a wine basket and you put your bottles of wine in there. I think it would look super cute with some flowers on one side and maybe a bottle of wine on the other side, so, or whatever you want to put in there. Again, this is going to get a paint treatment. We all like paint, don't we? Okay. Look at these. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the sand in them. The sand came in there. And these little puppies are $1.57. They're really, really thick glass and they have some deep ridges on them. So if I do keep the sand, I'll dump it out. I'll give them a nice, good cleaning, and then they will be sold just as is. I won't be doing anything to these, except maybe painting the handle. I might paint those handles. Give them an updated look. I bet they would look really pretty in black. Here's another one, same thing. It happened to have a burgundy candle in it. And this one they wanted $2.97 for. So I asked them if I took the candle out, could I get it for $1.97 like these? And they said, sure. So I took the candle out and I got this for $1.97. It would also make a really good hanging plant. So these are really cute. They will be on my website at thepaintedphotographerhomedecor.com. If you want to, if you're local and you need local pickup, just choose that and you can arrange a pickup date. And if you are from out of town and need it shipped, it'll come right to your door. But look at that thick glass. It is thick and has some ridges to it. Really think this was a good deal. Love them. Gotta think summer. We got summer coming. We gotta think summer and what we're gonna do to decorate our outside. This is a perfect look. It won't blow away in the wind. Even fits in my basket. How's that? Okay, here's a box. It has a little clasp on it, a little hook, and then the clasp holds it down. Just a little homemade shop project, a little wood box. This is going to get an entire facelift. It's got some really rough, raw edges because of it being probably a nice shop project, but we're gonna fix that right up. It's gonna look sweet. It's made out of an old trim board because it's got the ridges in it. It was $2.97. I really like this box and it's going to make a good finished project. Here is a candle holder or a wine bottle holder. I'm not really sure what its first purpose was for, but this was $2.97. It does have holes in the bottom and it's $2.97. It's matte black and I'm thinking it needs a paint job. What do you think? What color do you think I'm going to paint this? You'll have to follow along in the video to see what color it becomes. And I did take a blue jar. This was 57 cents. And put it down inside there. I do like that look of that blue, but this needs to be painted. What color? A yellow pail. This is in really good condition except for this scrape down here. I will try and get that off with a magic eraser and clean this all up. It is a really pretty yellow. I will not paint this, I'll just clean it up, and it was $3.97. I may put a transfer on it though. Buckets like this look really good with a transfer on them, so it may get a transfer. You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Thanks for watching me show you this junk. Follow along in the video as I complete these projects. So I painted this with Rust-Oleum 2x spray paint. Sometimes these metal things where you got to get your hand in there and it's just easier to spray paint. So this is my go-to spray paint. I'm not a spray paint girl, but I do like it once in a while to make the job a lot quicker. This was already black and of course I just don't want this to be solid white. I want some of that black to come through. So now I will have to use a sandpaper. And this is a 220 grit sandpaper. So I'm just gonna use this to distress. It's going to take some of that white off and really distress this down. I'll let you see that in fast motion. This yellow bucket was too perfect for paint, so I am going to use this Midnight Gardens transfer from IOD. I'm going to put it right on this clean bucket. It's a nice surface to put a transfer on. Obviously, I have to cut this transfer apart, so I am going to go around some of the flowers and using the scissors to cut around them and just piece this stencil or this transfer out. You're going to place it on the bucket, taking the backing off of it. Once you put it on, it's going to like stick right there, so be careful. And you're going to take the stick that's included in the kit and scrape along the top side of that transfer, getting the image to let loose from the transfer. And you'll see that it starts to lighten up when the transfer starts to let loose and adhere to the bucket in this case. So you can see it lightening up right as we move along here. I did the other side with the transfer as well, and I cut pieces of it apart and I adhered that one. You can really see that I am getting some air underneath of that transfer, which helps. This is a round object. If you're new with transfers, I recommend you start with flat surface. After it's all on, you take the backing and you burnish it. Just rub over the top of it, making sure that it's all connected. And then I am going to cut this thing apart and I'll show you that you can do all kinds of things with these transfers. Just use your imagination. I am going to take mermaid tail and some queen bee, mixing them together to make a green. I'm really liking the green and white together, so I tried a little sample and I did like the color green that it came out. I needed a little bit more yellow than I had thought I did. See, it's still a little blue, so I add a little bit more queen bee and it greens it right up. And I'm really liking this color green with the mermaid tail. Mermaid tail kind of matches my sweatshirt I'm wearing. I have this white tote, so I'm going to go over it with this fun green and go right over top of that white tote. And when I distress, I'll distress back to that white. Like I said, I'm loving the green and white. This box got green on the inside and white on the outside. This is White Swan with that custom color green. This basket got a straight coat of Monet's Garden, and I didn't make sure that I got in all the crevices. I just kind of hit on top of it for that aged kind of painted basket look. DIYPaint distresses right off with a baby wipe, so I'm distressing that green down to the white that I liked in the first place. Then I'm going to stencil using the Jamie Ray Vintage stencil brush. To keep these brushes nice, after you're finished washing them, roll them up in a paper towel like this and put the rubber band around the bristles. And when it dries, the paper towel will soak it up and it'll be nice and flat. It'll not have any straggling bristles. We're going to go in with Little Black Dress and the Jamie Ray Vintage grain sack stencil. And I wipe off a little bit of the paint right onto the drop cloth. And I am a swirl method girl. That's how I learned how to stencil, and I am not a pouncer. I am a swirler. So swirling your stencil brush will get you a nice crisp and clean stencil edge. Also making sure that your brush is pretty dry and doesn't have a whole lot of gooey paint on it will help with the bleed through. So you're going to stencil that and pull that stencil right off. It is a perfect little stencil with a little overspray there. Just baby wipe them off. And there it is, a little tote. Now we're going to go in with the Iron Orchid Design Franz stamp. This is my first time using this stamp. And so you take a 220 grit sandpaper and you're going to sand the tops of those stamps because from the factory they come with a little sealer on them. So you want to get that off of there. Now I'm positioning these fronds in trying to figure out what way I want them on here. And I want that big one on here somehow. So I'm going to take the thin mount and go over top of the frond stamp. And then I have New Grass ink, and I haven't used it in a while, so you're going to put a little bit of ink on your stamp pad and burnish it in there, making the ink. I stopped squeezing and just use the tip to smooth it around. And then you're going to get ink on the stamp, and then place it right down on your project, not moving it. You want a nice crisp stamp, so don't twist it or move it. And there's that New Grass ink. Oh, it's just pretty. I'm going to put that one off to the side and then stick this big one on there, kind of position where I think I want it. Stamp this one up. I don't have to go all the way down because it doesn't use the whole stamp. And I got a little bit on the thin mount, scrape it off with my finger and position this one on there. That New Grass ink is such a pretty color. I'm loving the green and white. I added a bunch more of these fronds to different sides of this box. And then I also added a fun little butterfly in a pink. I just used the same ink on this frond, and I kind of moved him off the edge a little bit, and then I took the stamp and I rolled it to the other side, so then it stamps on the front side as well. And the ink is not, it's the second stamp, so it's not quite so bright. This butterfly is from the Butterflies stamp set, IOD also, and can be ordered on my website, thepaintedphotographer.com. I use the Garnish IOD ink, that's the old color, and I put that right on. And I can tell you, I was just using an ink pad that I bought at a box store. Not the same. IOD ink pads are just amazing to work with. I like to take my stamps and wipe them off with a baby wipe after I'm finished using them, and then go ahead and wash them in the sink. The baby wipe kind of gets that ink off before it really sets in, helps you take care of your stamps just a little bit more, and you will get hundreds of thousands of uses out of these. Now the box needed a little distressing. I come in with my DeWalt sander and I'm giving it a really harsh sanding job. So I'm making some of that wood come back through and really distressing them stamps and butterflies and making it more aged. Apothecary for this basket, again going on just on the highlights, just on the tops, leaving the crevices in the dark wood, and doing the entire basket in this apothecary. DIY clear wax for this little box. It's going to give it a nice seal and make this box just a nice little trinket box for someone's table or a little girl's room. And it's just the cutest little aged box. And I don't know why, but I buy my clear wax in the smaller containers and I should just get the big one. My brush doesn't fit in it, so I got to take my little spatula and put it on my brush. So if I were you, I'd buy the big one because you're going to use it anyway. And this little one's just too small. Getting wax down inside a box like this is a tough job. So I use the crystal clear liquid patina, which has the same, it goes on like a liquid, and when it dries, it has the same look as the wax. So this is a good option to use and when you're trying to do something that is hard to wax. Since we had the patina out, we just went ahead and did this little tote. It works as a sealant. So it's a sealer, it's a transfer medium, and it's a decoupage too. So crystal clear liquid patina can do it all. It's the magic sauce. White wax for the basket. This is the Monet's Garden basket, so I'm going to go in and put some white wax right on top of the paint. There is no clear wax on this basket. I want that white aged look to this basket. This apothecary basket is going to get some Shipwreck wax. This is the verdigris wax, and it's also called Shipwreck. And I like apothecary with this little bit of blue on the wax side of it. So I put it all over the basket. There is no clear wax on this one either. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and hit the subscribe button. Links to purchase the product is below. And also, if you'd want to purchase any of the items that are listed in here, the Painted Photographer homedecor.com, and search for special sale items. Thank you, and as always, happy painting.